Now, the rest of the story.
Well, I guess we're back to winter. I mean, we had all the snow melted off 2 days ago, and then all it took is one kind of nasty blizzard, and here we are. Luckily for us, it's melting off. And I mean, a lot of that, even the brown here in the lot was all covered out. But I'm out here checking cattle, and everybody seems all right for the most part, other than the fact that I gotta start feeding more of my grain out. My bulk bin, I don't know if I really actually addressed that too much when I did it, but I put 180 bushels approximately is everything that I kept back for feed. Not really with the intention of trying to finish out or fatten up any of my calves or anything like that, but a lot of it was my heifers, which they are. This is a cell phone video, by the way. The only reason I say that is for people that wonder why everything's inverted. But right there are my heifers. We weaned out all 9 of them, plus 2 of the older first calf heifers that are bred. And I've just been giving them grain, largely just to kind of mellow them out. Same thing like what it was growing up when we had oats, where you take a bucket of oats out to the cows, and they just gradually figure out that when they see that bucket or they hear the door shut in the bin, that they come running. So you tame them down a little bit. The problem is, like with these guys, the 2 first calf heifers, I mean, they are hopefully bred. The 2 first calf heifers are actually probably the wildest, and that's part of the reason why I left them in there. A bucket of grain, and I mean, they're getting kind of over that phobia of not wanting to be near me at all, where they have to be on the other side of the lot. It's definitely getting to the point where I always go, "Hey girls," and when they hear that, they know you're coming, and they come running over. Well, I checked my feed bin because I put a bunch of corn, just shelled corn, and some calf feed mixed together. Put it into my bulk bin back in November. It's been cold out, whatever else has been fine. But the problem is, it's looking to me like it's just condensation has built up in the bin, because on the one side, from the top, you can see there's probably 4 to 6 inches of, I won't want to say just 100% completely rotten spoilage, but you can tell that it's starting to crust just a little bit. And if I start feeding it out, it's going to mix in. You aren't even going to know that it's there. But I don't know, when I started, I probably had about 20 bushels of corn in the gravity wagon up in the shed. I've been trying to get that fed out, largely because I don't want the birds. It's not covered, so I don't want the birds eating it. But I'm probably going to ramp it up from a bucket a day to probably 2 buckets or a bucket and a half. And oh, they pushed their way out of they pushed the gate out of the way. These are the heifers, if you guys are curious what they look like. They aren't much, but they're something. So we got the little red one is still named Myrna. Decided to keep them. Give her a chance, see what she can do, largely because I'm trying to keep back heifers, grow the herd, which I'm not trying to grow the calf herd, the cow herd anymore. I got, with all of the females I have right now, from young to old, I got 25. Now I'm going to lose some cows. I mean, I had 1 death loss last year, which if you can make it through a year with only losing 1, you're doing really good. I mean, my lender's always said that from day 1 when I started borrowing money, is you always figure at least one's not going to make it through the year. So accounted for that. And then really, actually this one right here, let's spin the camera around. That first one right there, just ahead of Myrna, she's probably the best looking cow I have in the herd right now. largely from the cow she came out of and the bull that is her father. Well, he's no longer around, but I think the genetics are really working with her. So they aren't much, but they're something. They're really inconsistent, yes. When I say inconsistent, I mean size-wise and height and weight, whatever. But that's largely because, I'm going to flip you back around so you can look at my beautiful face. That's largely because the calves weren't consistent. They weren't born consistent. They were spread out more than 30 to 45 days. I mean, these guys are spread out, I think, well, on average, I'm going to say there's about 3 months from the day the first one was born to the last one was born. Over 6 months from the day the first one was born to the day the absolute last one was born, because the absolute last one that was born was that bull steer, now steer calf that I banded here a while back. I mean, he's kind of an anomaly, but I'm gonna put him in the freezer anyway. So as far as these guys go, they've been weaned off for 2 weeks, largely just to make sure that they are completely weaned off. I had one that I know for certain that was still sucking, and they're beyond that point. They don't need to be on the cow anymore. So as far as these guys go, the plan is I'm gonna have to sort out the 2 that are first calf heifers. I want to get them back in here with the cows, and then the 9 heifers that are calves. We're just gonna stick with the 9 calves. I'm actually gonna load them back up and take them down to my place and put in with my dad's cows. The reason I'm gonna do that is because A, I only have so much room up here. B, grass. I mean, there's plenty of feed down there. And C, I won't be putting the bull in with my dad's cows, which we don't have. We pulled the bull out. He's actually back here right now. We pulled the bull out of my dad's cows, away from my dad's cows, and we won't be putting him back in until August 1st, when generally I put him in June 1st. Now, once I get these guys out of here, he's going to get put back into this lot, and he's going to be separated, so that way I can have a clearer time frame as far as when everybody's going to be due. Now, somebody is probably going to point that out, that I have one cow that's going to be thrown off again because she calved here late fall. You'd almost argue early winter. Well, I guess I got to deal with him potentially breeding her back, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. I mean, we're not running huge number of cattle here, but these guys, I'll plan on putting these guys down with my dad's cows, so that way when we put the bulls down August 1st, it'll give these heifers a little bit more time to grow. I mean, yeah, they're going to calve a little bit later, but that'll offset them from the older cows, so I can give these guys more attention when they are calving. It makes a lot more sense in my head than it probably does me trying to just tell you guys about it, but it makes sense, just trust me. And actually, out of all these, the one that I'm really not a big fan of, I'm gonna flip you around again, is that one. She's the other first calf heifer. Definitely more, let me rephrase that, definitely more beef in this one than there is in that one, largely because she's got a taller stance, legs are longer, she's leaner, and actually her whole frame in general is just not quite as nice as this one. But I have my 25 cows. That's all I'm really planning on letting my herd get to, or I'm going to maintain at 25 cows for the foreseeable future. Largely just boils down to space and time and willingness to grow and whatever else. I mean, I get the cows are paid off. I mean, that way whatever I keep back for replacement heifers, because these guys are going to start getting culled out. I mean, getting rid of the older girls and replacing with the younger cattle, and start picking and choosing my genetics. The one that you guys just saw me look at, the beefier first calf heifer, definitely going to be keeping heifers out of her for ever. I mean, she's a little touchy. I mean, she's a little flighty, but her mom is the one that I had back in 15 that I kept out of all of my beef heifers that I had. She was the only one that, she still does. She'll let you walk up to her and you can pat her head, and you know, she's pretty quiet, and it shows through on her calf. So definitely trying to keep the genetics to where they're quieter. I mean, Dum Dum behind you guys, unlikely I'll be keeping too many calves out of her. I mean, ideally, the more calves I can send down the road. The cattle money, I've already made that decision that the cattle money is equipment money, or is it play money? So it's not money I'm planning on putting onto my operating note or using to farm necessarily, but I'm going to be using it to buying equipment, to updating equipment. Spreader, I mean, we have a stock trailer coming. Chisel plow, you guys already know we got one of those, but I'd like to buy another one. But I see the cattle as an equipment purchase or equipment payment. So that's where we're at with there. And for the sake of keeping this video somewhat short, oh, the last addition to the video, that is my oldest cow in my herd right there. And she's the one that's going to be here for forever. She's been around since Grandpa. She is actually my grandpa's, out of my grandpa's herd. So she is the one that I bought off of his estate sale. She was a random heifer that went through the ring. I had an order buyer actually bought her for me. I gave him a number. This is how much I'm willing to pay for her, and he got her bought for a pretty respectable price. So I'm happy. And she's the one that, she'll be around forever. I will never sell her or call her out. She can honestly die here of old age. So I think she's earned it. And with that, I'm hoping we get back to spring weather, spring conditions, spring everything, because I got used to 50, 60 degree weather, and they're calling for it next week. So hopefully we'll get back to it. So until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys appreciate your cattle update. For those that are new to the channel and returning to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel. I hate having to self-promote like that, but it's just the way it is nowadays. Make sure that you also ring the bell. I don't know if it's over here or over there. Make sure that is clicked so you guys get updates or notified when I do post my videos. So until next time, I'll talk to you later.